Good morning. This is a reflection on lesson 259 in A Course in Miracles, and the title is Let Me Remember That There Is No Sin. Let me remember that there is no sin. What it really talks about is how if we believe there is sin, whatever that means to you, the carpet tripped me, then it's how do we it's like, it reminds me of opposites. It talks about opposites. So it's like, well, then we think that we're separate from love. What it made me think of is because it said something like love. I forget what it said, but what it made me think of is how I used to feel like love. You know how when you grow up, maybe a more naive understanding of opposites is like love and hate. Hate is the opposite of love. Love is the opposite of hate, and that's not really accurate. And then I thought, well, fear is the opposite of love because love is so expansive, fear is contracting. And then I thought, well, that's not really true either. Love, well, what's the opposite of fear then? Forget hate. It's just another subtle dimension of anger and other things. So let's forget hate for a second and just focus on fear, because fear is underneath it all. I try to get it like, what's underneath it all? Well, fear. Okay, so it's the opposite of fear if it's not love. I think of it as joy. Joy is the opposite of fear. Fear being that constricted, like, state. Joy being like abundant, free-flowing, exuberant is the word I meant, not abundant, but like the opposite of that, really, which is so expansive and flowing. I think of joy as flow, whereas fear is freeze. So, because it reminds me of like the nervous system, like when the nervous system is like so at ease and just relaxed, it is like in a state of flow. It's where creativity can happen. Fear, there's nothing creative about fear that's holding on and constricting and contracting and conserving resources and freezing. Literally, when you freeze something, like make it so cold, the molecules stop moving. That's what fear is. Joy is warm and bright and flowy and just like ooey gooey. So those, I think, are maybe more accurate opposites than love and fear, or than love and hate for sure. And then I thought, well, then what is love? And love is really, it can contain everything. It has no opposite. And I think that's what this lesson's talking about. Love, there is no opposite to love. So if we think of if we think of love having an opposite, like we put it in this dual universe, this dual framework, then we think, well, what's the opposite of love? Oh, sin. All the bad things, whatever you want to talk about sin as being. You can even take it out of the biblical context and just say it is unjust. It's everything being a problem, where love is like nothing's a problem because everything can coexist under the umbrella of love. Love can contain everything. Love contains opposites. Love makes room for opposites. Love makes room for problems. And then magically they become not problems because there's complete acceptance for all that is. So love to me is God because it sits above. And then you hear like God is love is a phrase. There's so much truth in that. Love is God, God is love, whichever direction you want to put it. But I feel like I don't even want to use the word God anymore. I just want to use the word love, because it's this all allowing, all encompassing energy in the world that we can tap into that can contain everything without anything being a problem to be solved. And it's where creation happens. Creation happens from love, right? Creativity is this energy where we want to produce something into the world, to share it, to like penetrate somebody's like or heart or whatever, to just like, that's love. I think we can just stop the book now. I think that was the grand finale. I can't imagine it getting any more pure than that. Like, what is the grand finale? You can tell, like, I reflected on it a prior lesson where I'm like, are we there yet? Come on. I've been doing this daily, except for days I have to catch up because I skip a day. But I'm literally, like, by the end of this year, we'll hit the final lesson because I've caught up all the times I've slipped. But we're at lesson 258 out of 365. So there's less than 100 left, but there's so many left. How can you get more pure than just love can contain everything? How do you get more pure than that? How is there going to be a better grand finale than love is everything? God is love, love is God. I don't know, but we'll see. It'll probably make me do a lot of reviews like it does. Let's review the last 20 lessons. And then that's always great because then I always tap into something different that I didn't get or feel into the time before. I breezed past. So it's all good. It's just, but part of me is still like, are we there yet? Where's the next thing I can like sink my mind into, right? Like feel into. But every day I'm feeling into something new. So there's nowhere to get to. And that's where I feel like the more I keep calling myself out with my own shenanigans, I feel like I'm more able to do it under that umbrella of love. Like, it's not a problem. I'm just calling it what it is. It's like shining a light on all my dysfunctions and being like, yeah, that's okay. That's not a problem. And I love being in that space because it feels like resistance keeps falling away. The resistance is what makes a problem. Like, oh, it shouldn't be this way. What's wrong with me? Oh, and then that's a whole spiral, right? So I love that I can voice this, like, are we there yet? Problem, and then laugh because it's not really a problem. I hope, see, I'm already saying the word hope is like, I stop myself so fast. Like, the word hope means, oh, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm waiting for the problem to come back in and be a problem. You know, when you start to say, hope it always is like this. Well, there is no always. The only constant is change. Literally everything is shifting and changing. So I also love that I can stop myself before I even finish the syllables of the word that speaks separation into existence, into my reality. I love being in this space.